Hi everybody, what's up? I am Lady Stars on Fire. My real name is Michelle Espinosa, and this is the weekly healing messages for June 26th through July 3rd. Again, I call it the healing messages if you've never watched the video before, because I specifically ask Spirit to give us guidance and counsel that will help move us forward in the most positive and healing ways within our life. Excuse my hair, but I still have beach hair. I just got home from vacation, and for any and all of you who do follow me and who know I've been on vacation, thank you for sending me so many blessings of wishing me a wonderful vacation, because I haven't been on vacation in 6 years. So thank you for that. And yes, beach hair, I'm still enjoying it. I just wanted to get the video out to you as soon as I could and get back on with my thing. Anyway, for this week, I'm being told automatically, first off, I'm being shown the third eye, and they're like plucking at my third eye. I just feel a lot of movement within that third eye energy, and they're telling me it's going to have a lot to do with psychic uplifts going on within the third eye, as well as within energy being healed and cleaned out within the crown energy as well. But I am being told that the diamond is part of this week's healing messages, because they show me a diamond several different times, actually. They show me a diamond off of a diamond and off of a diamond, but they're really just directing it to the idea of whatever the interpretations are of the diamond. Now, the thing is, in so many different cultures, diamonds really have so many different meanings and many different interpretations. They typically speak to us of creation, of enlightenment, of the four directions, of the four directions, the four, like earth, air, wind, fire, the directions, the elements, masculine and feminine energy. They speak to us of meditation also. They speak to us of oneness and of unity, of rebirth, revival, and transformation. So the diamond energy is coming in incredibly strong, because that also goes right back to working within that energy of the crown and the third eye for this week of what we're receiving. I'm also given what is a triple goddess symbol. Now, the triple goddess symbol typically is like 2 half moons and a full moon. It speaks to us of maiden, mother, and crone. Speaks to us of waxing full and waning. It speaks to us of feminine energy, mystery in energy, as well as psychic abilities. This is also speaking to us of our third eye, of going through all of this. You know, all of your maiden, your mother, your crone energy into the diamond energy of that enlightenment, of those four directions, those four elements, of the oneness, of unity, of the rebirthing of who and what you are into the new. But I'm being told right now it definitely is dealing with all four directions and creation itself. This week I spoke of also, over this past week while I was on vacation, I was given over and over and over again Shavez, Hindu god, which is considered one of the gods of destruction. However, we have to remember, we learn through the raven, especially we learn through the raven, that destruction has to happen so construction can. So this has a lot to do with this change coming about right now. I'm also being shown shamanically 2 frogs with like a leap pad there, and they're like on the land. There's some liquid around, and then the leap pad, and both frogs are on the land facing one another, and that's all I'm shown. And then I'm also shown a Chinese dragon, not any kind of dragon. It's definitely a Chinese dragon. I'm just shown his face shamanically, and I tell you all the time, shamanically, that's not for me to tell you what that means. So you might want to figure out what the 2 means for the frogs versus the land, the leap pad, the water, as well as what is the Chinese dragon's face have to say to you right now. I am being told again through Spirit, that this week has a lot to do with discipline and being humble. So humble, discipline. This is about evolving, about moving forward. This is about fun. We're in the second part of this year, 2017. It's the second part. The first part's done and over with. We're done with that. We're moving into the second part so that we can then get to 2018, which is a number 2 year. I keep saying this. Number 2 has to do with, growth, with, it has to do with growth, but it has to do with harmony and growth within that harmony of all areas of your life, taking that harmonious stand in all areas of your life as we move forward. So I'm being told, I hear them saying humble and discipline, or humble discipline, basically is what is needed this week. And I'm brought back again to Hebrew, and I'm brought back to the ayin. However, I usually explain the ayin a little bit different. I was taken another route this time by them, and they still say that it has to do with divine providence that is coming in. Because, like I said, this has to do with bigger than what we are. It's all 4 elements. It's like heavenly guided energy going on right now. Although there has to be destruction in order for creation to happen. I am given the ayin. This speaks to us again of divine providence. The ayin is the eye. Again, the third eye. It speaks to us of above and below. It speaks to us of the spring. I've said this many times. It speaks to us of the spring of the water that flows to all things. Well, when we're going from above and below within our chakras, what is your spring? What is the flow of that spring of water? Is it ill water? Or is it healing, healthy waters? Because that is what will take over all of it. But I'm being guided to also understand right now that the ayin speaks to us of seeing beyond the physical world and beyond time itself. I'm being told to understand it also is associated with time, with hours, with future, with past, with every single individual moment. See past the physical, see past the time, and understand the I in the ayin has to do with that spring that goes through all life. Time being part of that. There is no time. There is no future. There is no past. There is no now. It's all one. It's rolled into like a burrito, as they put it. So see past the physical time of what you know and see into the future with your third eye and into that healing water energy of the above and below is what I'm being told. Now, as we get into astrology for the week, this kind of comes into making a little bit more sense. But I'm going to start off with the moon's movement. The moon starts off this week in Leo. Now in Leo, we can get a little bit dramatic. I'm a Leo, I say it all the time. We can get a little bit dramatic. We can be a little bit, Leo is a very compassionate thing, but they're also prideful. We also are prideful, and we can be a little self-centered in that area, because that's what Leo does. But Leo is also the ruler. Leo is the king of the jungle. And with that, because that's where the node is right now, it speaks to us of remembering that the king of the jungle also has responsibilities to everything. Has to take care of everything. It's family, the pride. The king is the leader of the pride, basically. It has to be responsible to it. It cannot just live its life in prideful action. So it is compassion. It has the lion heart, but we can get caught up in melodrama as well during the beginning of this week because the moon is in Leo. Now midweek, we go into Virgo. Virgo is more picky, more oriented in the way of Virgo has a finger finder, basically. It can point out exactly what's wrong and figure it out and figure out how to fix it. It's also a little anal retentive in the level of pickiness. Diet may be coming up right now. Your health issues may be coming up right now. Especially with Pallas moving, any illnesses may be showing themselves right now. And that would also have to do with Virgo and the moon at the same time, these two coming together. I'll explain a little bit more in a minute. And then we finish the week in Libra. And the Libra is more or less we want to tap the scales to find out how to create the proper balance within our life, within our friends, within our relationships. Point blank, we're tapping the scales to find how to create the balance. And usually when we tap the scales to find out how to create that balance, that's because we're shown where something is out of balance. Now, this week, Pallas is moving into Taurus with Venus. Now, Pallas is Athena. Pallas is the weaver of patterns. That goes back to your diamond. See, and one of the ways Pallas is a sign is it looks somewhat like a cross with a diamond on top. So this is also bringing us back to what they said with the diamond energy. Pallas is the weaver of patterns. Pallas is Athena, the warrior princess, but the wise is what we're after here. The wise, the courage, the strategy, the skills of being able to do this. Moved into Taurus, we're looking at that luxury. Taurus loves the luxury, period. Taurus loves to enjoy the better things in life. Taurus likes to take that walk on the beach and enjoy and relax. Taurus can be very much bullheaded, though. And that can go in a good way or a bad way. I mean, that depends on what you're being bullheaded about. But Taurus also is very sexual and sensual. So that in walks our energy of Venus and Pallas talking together. This takes you from what most people want to see Venus is as the emotional sensitivity side of you, which most people want to look at it as love. But I always say Venus isn't just about love. Venus is about our senses, what feels good and what doesn't. And that's how she speaks to us. She helps us to understand how to channel and to more or less charm our way into getting what it is we want. That's what Venus does. She knows how to tell you what it is you like because you know that your warm fuzzy covers make you feel so all good inside. And your smell of your scented candles make you feel so great. And she's the one who makes sure that when you get the attention from your lover, you know that you're getting it and you enjoy it and you're loving it. But she's also, when you stick your hand into a hot oven and you grab a pan of cookies that are cooking at 360 degrees without oven mitts, she's also what's telling you that shit hurts. She's your senses. You have your senses talking to Pallas, the weaver of patterns, the wise, strategy, skills. She's the warrior princess. You just took your senses and you introduced it basically to the warrior princess in Taurus, which is patient and bull. The bull who can do anything. You can't make anybody that's Taurus do something they don't want to do. End of discussion. It's not happening. Taurus, it can outweigh anything. So this is a very good, positive energy that's going on. And at this time, it may help you get over that hump of whatever destruction's going on to create for new. But you got to look into that wise warrior princess side for you women. Because this is definitely that uplifting of who you are. It's finding inner self-security and being secure enough in it to stand in your security. Now, as we move into the challenges for this week, we have Vista and the Node, which is in Leo. That's a fire sign. And Vista is your inner fires. She's your home and your hearth. She speaks to what your home and your hearth is. Leo is, like I said, is the king of the jungle. The king of the jungle has compassion, but he also has courage, can be prideful, but also is the king, so he's responsible for everybody else as far as his pride goes, the family of them. So it's a cycle that must be worked through, basically, is what Leo is. Vista speaks to us of our home and our hearth. What is our true fire all about? Who is it that is you? What is it that creates you that makes it your true fire? It makes you what you are. Speaking to the North Node and how to be in service as well as to yourself, but outwardly. This is having a conversation, again, with Venus and Taurus. And Venus is going to be getting into those senses, making you realize some of those things that are a little too close to home. Because I'm seeing the Ceres symbol, but nothing is really getting into Ceres this week. And Ceres is Cause and effect. Ceres is karma. And I'm seeing the symbol, but nothing's really going on with it in astrology other than what is going on with the challenges. So it might be feeling a little too close to home, but that's because they're making you force yourself to see these things to get over that hump. Now, Cancer. Last week, everything moved into Cancer. Also, this week, I don't know what's going on with this, and I don't fully understand it yet, but Spirit keeps making my earth jump. I mean, literally, like, I'm standing here, and then and this might have to do with grounding, but I really don't think it has to do with grounding in general. I just feel like it's a transition of, like, getting over that hump. Like, I just feel like I'm here, and then I'm here, and then I'm here. That's the way Spirit is moving me for some reason. And I'm not sure what that means, other than maybe for grounding and anchoring yourself. But, I'm giving you the information they're giving me. Anyway, Cancer this week, last week, during the solstice, during the summer solstice and during the new moon, at the time it had the new moon, which just happened. See, this is a perfect time for all these changes to be happening because we just had the solstice. We just had the new moon. And new moons are all about the new beginnings. You've got Cancer, which has the sun in it, which is your core energy. It is your ego energy. It is what you're seen for, what you're known for, what you shine for. It is also got Mercury in it. Mercury is our communication. It also has Mars in it, which is our passion, our fire, our action, and our inner SWAT team, more or less. It can be an aggressive energy going on with our communication and with our core, with our shine, what we're known for, speaking directly into us through Cancer. Remember, we've been being told that we had a lot to do with the fourth house over the past couple weeks. The fourth house is your home. It is what is home. What is it when you are truly who you are and nobody else really can see you? What is it when you're at home? Even at home within yourself, the roots, your family, all of this is part of that fourth house. And even though this is universally I'm speaking, this speaks to our home, our siblings, you know, our home of ourself, our Mercury, our Cancer, our Mars, and our Sun. All of them are speaking directly across to Jupiter, which is everything is about to amplify. Like I said, this is challenging. They're bringing up these things so that you're forced to have to make these changes for the better. They're speaking to your Jupiter, which is bringing in that higher knowledge of what it is you need to see to make those changes. It's also bringing in the abundance. This can be a positive thing as long as you know how to work with it, understanding it's a challenge. And it's also going straight over to where I keep being told it has to do with that 10th house, which is also your community. So your community is universally Capricorn, and it's speaking to Juno and Pluto. Juno is the commitment it takes to make Pluto's change happen, and they're both in retrograde. They're both in retrograde, which means they're not outwardly looking, they're inwardly looking at your inner self and what it is in here we've got to make changes about for our Cancer, our Sun, our Mercury, and our Mars to make the positive changes. Jupiter is going to be amplifying that this week. Now, on the positive side, because it is going to have some emotions with it, I am also seeing basically waves coming in. And I'm being brought to the attention of the waves come in and they go out. They come in and they go out. They come in and they go out. But what I'm saying is where you're seeing them come in and out, if you look at waves coming in, that's the surface. This is what I'm saying. They're bringing things to the surface. But they're saying, remember, that's just the surface of these energies coming in and going out. Coming in and going out. So you can learn and move forward. Versus the water is way further back there. And that's more calm than what the actual curl of the waves are. You're only working on the surface where they're bringing this stuff up so that you can get down to deeper inside of those waters and truly bring healing in. Now, for positive aspects, Pallas, again, like I said, just moved. And Pallas is creating a trine this week. However, as she moves out of Aries and into Taurus, she is still picking up within this trine because it's close enough. She is still picking up Aries' energy with Uranus at this time. Uranus is your individuality, your independence, your inventive self working still, because that's in Aries. Your independent, inventive, and individuality is speaking in Aries with new beginnings, new starts, new goals. Let's just go with it and have the balls to start it. But it's talking to Pallas, which is now in Taurus, which now has the patience to do it right, to find the strategy of how to go about doing it right. Caressing a little bit of that energy with Venus, because it will still pick up that energy. It is in that sign. But this trine is these two are talking to Lilith and Saturn. Lilith is your dark moon. She's going to bring up those dark energies, but she's doing it in a positive way with Saturn also, which is in retrograde. Saturn is all about your rules and your boundaries. And Sagittarius, right there's the fire to have the balls to go out and try it, to take the chance, to start the new, to go for it. And that is talking to Vista, which is your inner fire. And the North Node, which is the courage of the lion, and the lion of the jungle, basically the king of the jungle, which is Leo. So this is all bold energy of being able to step into yourself, your worth, your value, your independence, and start to truly create. And that's a very positive sign. But Lilith will be sticking in there, lending you some of that, you ain't going to tell me what to do and you can't change me energy. Just don't let Lilith's dark sides of ego triumph over some of the other things that could be making it a positive thing for you. Don't let ego in. And you'll do fine. Now, Cancer also... And I say Cancer because it's three signs are still there. You've got the Sun, Mercury, and Mars. Your core, your communication, and your passion, and your power, and your fire, and your defense itself. And that emotional water sign of Cancer is talking in a positive way to Neptune. And Neptune is in retrograde. So Neptune is showing you its magic that normally it wouldn't show you as easily. It's helping you to see into the iron. It's helping you to see into the iron and past the now. Past the now. Past what is considered to be the physical, what we think. Stop thinking like a human. I keep saying this over and over again. The more we think like a human, the less we manifest properly. The more we start thinking like a spiritual being and knowing that we are more than just this body and just these clothes and just this haircut. And we start really getting into soulfully thinking and thinking on the bigger picture, the quicker we can manifest exactly what we want. It's the ego that makes us remember we're stuck in the physical body. And while we are, and that's being realistic, we're not a one-dimensional being. We are so much more than that. You're so much more powerful than that. This is what Spirit's been saying the whole time. And this has everything to do right now with Cancer, the Sun, Mercury, and Mars speaking to Neptune, helping you create into reality the magic of what you want your life to be. You just have to believe and see it and go after it. But if you don't believe, then you're only lying to you. Now, also during the week, the midweek, the moon, our emotional side, is in Virgo, which is where we're a little bit picky, we're a little bit organized, we're a little bit retentive, where the finger finder is out, and where we get into our diets and our healthy eating and stuff. That's going to be also speaking to Pluto as well, and Capricorn and Juno, which is finding the foundation to create those changes and the sacrifices it needs to do so. Now, for the end of the week, I was only given at this time. If I'm given differently later, I will come back. But at this time, I am told this week for the runes, I am seeing it looks like a tilted T. Northeast. Northeast speaks to us of the need to de-stress the fire, the determination, the endurance, the survival. It's the presence of the situation of something that must be worked through. We are still overcoming karmic obstacles. It speaks to us of finding that great change within us that awakened us to realize we had the inner fire of doing it and being it the entire time. It's invoking our inner fire. There's your Vista speaking up. And Palace coming together basically in different ways. It speaks to us of resistance and friction, of resistance that can strengthen and overcome with our inner fire. Using our inner fire, the will to overcome and strengthen. Basically, it is the need to banish the cold and warm the fire. It is changing your stress into strength. Again, changing your stress into strength. It is action according to the need for positive self-reliance. It is positive actions, but also dealing with past circumstances. Yeah. It is also speaking to us of overcoming our karma, our skills of survival, and our self-preservation. Meeting the necessary requirements, like I said, the iron. Seeing past the now, realizing to stop thinking like a human, and stop thinking with ego and worry and doubt and stress, and start thinking like a soul, and you can manifest what you want, because you're limitless, baby. It is speaking to us of meeting those necessary requirements so we can manifest from what we have realized we have been in our absence, what we've been missing. Basically, learning to overcome that. This is speaking of every challenge is just a measure of one's hidden strength. Every challenge in our life is nothing more than a challenge from that measure of one's hidden strengths. It's about breaking those bad addictions and realizing that what it is we thought we lacked as human beings, we always had, and it always was part of us. We just forgot it for a while. I love you. It should be a very positive week, as long as you can remember that the challenges are there to help you move forward, and don't let them beat you down. Bye, everybody. I'll see you next week.